The following broadcast is the Westfield Roundball Game of the Week, brought to you by Brandon Outfitters, Planners First, David Reagan Ford, Sonic America's Drive-In, Com South, and proud parents and supporters of Westfield Athletics, Bill and Laura Amos. Now for the Middle Georgia Sports Network's pregame show, presented by Brandon Outfitters. Here are your hosts, Kenny Kofer and Brett Taylor.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Hornets Nest. I'm Brett Taylor, alongside me, Kenny Kofer, and this is going to be an exciting night of basketball as two rivals meet inside the Hornets Nest here tonight. The Deerfield Windsor Knights traveled all the way up from Albany, Georgia, to take on the homestanding Westfield Hornets inside the Nest here tonight. The ladies will tip off the action here starting at 6:30, so we're about 8 minutes away from tip-off following the post-game festivities, and then the boys will tip off directly after that at approximately 8 o'clock. So it should be some good rivalry basketball. We travel out of the region play here this week as the Lady Hornets will take on the Lady Knights from Deerfield, Windsor. And this one, as I said, should be a great matchup. The Lady Hornets got back to their winning ways in region play the last time we saw them, last Friday night against the Augusta Prep Cavaliers. And then I believe they got a 10-point victory on the road up at John Millage in in Milledgeville. So Westfield, both teams coming in riding high off two region victories, and they will step out of region play here tonight to take on the Knights from Albany. So the Knights had to travel all the way up. I believe that's Georgia 300. And coming into the Nest as Westfield traveled down there early in the year and I believe had a close loss against the Deerfield Windsor Knights down in Albany. And this is always a fantastic matchup between these two schools. Back in football, Westfield split the season series with them, but were able to win the biggest game of the year for Westfield in the semifinal of the state playoffs. So hopefully they can have similar success here tonight at home inside the Nest as Lady Hornets are looking to continue their win streak and move it out to 3 as they lost a close game 2 weeks ago to Gatewood, the Lady Gators. And I tell you what, Kenny, coming in tonight, some leading scorers for Westfield that you got to look for is Caitlin Mosley, number 33, number 32, Unique Tuberville, and as always, Chelsea Whaley. She has been a fantastic player all season long. The senior has done it all, defensively, offensively, and rebounding, making steals, pretty much any way you can imagine. She has been a force for the Lady Hornets, and Coach Chip Champion and his staff are going to need her to step up here tonight. And Caitlin Mosley's shooting is going to have to be on point if Westfield hopes to take a victory here against the Lady Knights from Deerfield, Windsor. So we're about 6 minutes from tip-off. What we'll do is we'll take a quick break, and we'll have Kenny join us here on the Brandon Outfitters pregame show. You're listening to Lady Hornets basketball on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Hey, Pete, check this out. Come here, little doggy. Sit.
Oh.
Sit.
You train your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of his stuff. Shake.
Oh, maybe he's grumpy, you know? I mean, it is lunchtime, so.
Oh, right, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime,
Must be it. Little doggy.
It's okay. Does it taste good, though?
A little dog with a big bite. Little doggies, starting at $1.29. And save room for a molten cake sundae. This is how you Sonic.
Hey, wait, that door, Jim. All right.
Remember those old Western movies? You could always tell the good guys by their white hats. Well, today the styles have changed, but the hat's still white. At David Reagan Ford and Perry, we focus on being good citizens and good neighbors with straightforward deals, a firm handshake, and no hassle negotiating. Visit us on the web or stop by David Reagan Ford just off I-75, exit 136 in Perry. David Reagan Ford.
You know us. We're the guys in the white hats.
Now, back to the Brandon Outfitters pregame show on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
And welcome back inside the Nest to the Brandon Outfitters pregame show. Again, I'm Brett Taylor, and Kenny is about to join us here. He's trying to track down some starting lineups for tonight's ball game as, again, the Lady Hornets are taking on the Lady Knights from Albany. And Deerfield Windsor travels up here tonight, Kenny. And I was saying earlier before the break, this should be a great matchup between two rivals. And Westfield has kind of got back onto their winning ways as they went up to Milledgeville and I think they won by about 10 points from what I remember. And you got to know that feels good, trying to extend that winning streak out to 3 games for the Lady Hornets.
Absolutely. And, they started off so hot. They kind of fizzled there towards the holiday break. But, coming back around, rounding into form and seeing an old familiar foe is going to get them fired up, I'm sure.
Kenny breathing a little hard. He had to go make some copies of some starting lineups, so we'll be able to bring those to you after our next break.
Copies.
Kenny, I was telling the fans at home that Westfield's really been and kind of spurred on to very good play so far in this kind of early stretch of region play. They step out of the region here tonight for a non-region matchup, but some of those key players, kind of the big 3, but then also you throw in Whitley Young, and Winter Williams has really come around for the Lady Hornets. Got to think that some of those key bench players and key kind of role players are going to have to step up here tonight for the Lady Hornets if they're going to win this big rivalry matchup.
Yeah, Gracie Duggan is one of those players, as she stepped up last week in the game against Gatewood, as well as on Friday night against Augusta Prep. She really played well, so having her step up and get into the lineup with Jackie Bard out, who I see down on the floor without her cast on. It looks like she's got one of those high ankle braces on.
And you can see her in your screen as she's dribbling the basketball there on the right wing, throwing a cross-court pass to Gracie Duggan. And you're right, that kind of bodes well. I'm sure Coach Chip Champion's wanting to see her get healthy for maybe a region tournament run for the Lady Hornets. But, Kenny, Westfield, when we talked to Coach Champion last at the halftime of the boys' game against Gatewood, Westfield at that point, the Lady Hornets were 1-2 in the region. After 2 big victories in the region, they're now 3-2. Mm-hmm. They got a win up at John Millage. They really have a chance to kind of compete for this thing now. They've righted the ship. They step out of region here tonight, so this game really counts for nothing other than bragging rights and momentum and some confidence, honestly. But I tell you what, they have done an excellent job of kind of just weathering the storm, so to speak, and if they can get Jackie back heading into region play and kind of get in the top 1 or 2 seeds going into that, they could be a dangerous team headed into late February.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they played the Gatewood Gators very tough here, and that is the number 1 team in the region right now, and really Westfield just kind of let that game get away from them. So they can compete with anybody in the region, and as Coach Champion said in one of our halftime interviews early in the season, he thinks they're one of the best teams in the state. And, they played Bullock. They had a very tough out-of-region schedule to start the season, and Coach Champion did that for a reason. He said he wanted to play tough competition early and then see how that bodes well as you get late into February mid-February on into March and start playing those state championship playoffs as well as in your region championship. So they got all the ingredients that you need. It's just with Jackie out, they've really had a hard time really trying to find that point guard position.
Yeah.
Hats off to Caitlin Mosley. She stepped in, but that kind of takes her out of her comfort level. She's more of a spot-up, 2 guard, and she's have to run and kind of facilitate the offense. And doing a good job, but she's not filling up that points category like she did last year.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a very key point. You got to think that once Jackie gets back in there, that should free Caitlin up to be more of a scorer instead of a distributor. And really, it's taken away, a lot of pressure on opposing teams' defenses because they've just been able to kind of lock down on Caitlin. Chelsea's gotten her points where she can, but other than when Unique has some really big games like she did last week against Augusta Prep, it's very hard for Westfield to score, especially when Unique is faced up against someone who, like in Gatewood, I can't remember the girl's name, but she was
little, small, yeah.
No, I'm talking about the tall girl inside that scored so many points. I mean, that's just a tough matchup inside for Unique, and when you get Jackie back, you got to think that that's going to open things up for Westfield. And I just saw her shooting a little bit down there, so you got to think it's going to be any day now. But I think Westfield can win without her. And they've shown that over the last couple of games, and hopefully they can come in here and get a victory here tonight against what looks to be another good, well-oiled machine from Deerfield Windsor. They just continuously, kind of like Westfield, these are kind of mirror image of each other. They continually put out good products on whatever court, field, soccer field, wherever you're playing, it seems like these two schools always have a good product on the field.
Oh, I think that's exactly why they have such a good rivalry. I mean, they are basically the same school, just an hour and 15 minutes apart. They manufacture good athletes, and they play well. They're always in contention, no matter what sport it is, and that is why I think anytime you have an intense rivalry with somebody, that generally means that it's gone both ways at some point. I mean, we know from being a Georgia Southern fan that App State is our biggest rival. Well, it's not because, although this year we have beaten them like a drum, but it's because it goes both ways. I mean, they beat us just as much as we beat them, and it's fun to.
And even when they're on top,
right?
You still beat them.
Right.
Sometimes, and that's just the way rivalries go, like you said. But another thing that I was going to mention is the fact that both of these schools have been successful, obviously, but they can't stand to lose to one another. And when it's kind of like Colin Cowherd, I don't like him a whole lot, but I do respect this one thing that he said. You can definitely tell when a program and when a community cares about what they do, because they normally put a good product out there. And both of these schools care about sports and care about extracurricular activities, and they pretty much dominate the state in most aspects. When you look at football, they always have good products, as I said, and that's because they care.
Yeah, it'll be a good matchup here tonight, as we're about 4.5 minutes away from the national anthem, starting lineups and more, as Westfield is set to take on the Lady Knights of Deerfield, Windsor. So, Brett, why don't we go ahead and take a quick break, come back with more of the Brandon Outfitters pregame show right here on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Hey, Pete, check this out. Come here, little doggy. Sit.
Oh,
Sit.
you train your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of his stuff. Shake.
Oh, maybe he's grumpy, I mean, it is lunchtime, so.
Oh, right, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, yeah.
Must be it. Little doggy.
It's okay. Does it taste good, though?
A little dog with a big bite. Little doggies, starting at $1.29. And save room for a molten cake sundae. This is how you Sonic.
Billy, met dog Jim, all right.
Remember those old Western movies? You could always tell the good guys by their white hats. Well, today the styles have changed, but the hat's still white. At David Reagan Ford and Perry, we focus on being good citizens and good neighbors with straightforward deals, a firm handshake, and no hassle negotiating. Visit us on the web or stop by David Reagan Ford just off I-75, exit 136 in Perry. David Reagan Ford.
You know us. We're the guys in the white hats.
Now, back to the Brandon Outfitters pregame show on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
And welcome back into the nest here, as the Lady Hornets are set to take on the Lady Knights. Both teams in the warm-ups here, as the B-team game ran a little long, but Westfield was actually a victor here tonight in the B-team game, so a very closely contested matchup. And so what we'll do is, how about we go ahead and take a look at the starters, Kenny, for for Deerfield, and I'll let you go ahead and run down the starters for Deerfield.
All right, here are the starters for the visiting Deerfield Lady Knights. Starting at forward will be number 22, T.Z. Williams. At the other forward position will be number 25, Hannah Mills. Also will be number 34, Alex Holloway. The other positions here are trying to figure out what they did here on who those guards are going to be. I'm going to go with Marin Reynolds and Joyner Tyson as the starters. And for the homestanding Westfield Lady Hornets, they will line up like this here tonight for Coach Champion. Chelsea Whaley at the forward position, along with Gracie Duggan and Unique Tuberville. So those girls will be playing the three forwards, and down low, or out on the guard positions, will be Whitley Young and Caitlin Mosley. So that is the starting lineups for both teams here this evening, as we're about a minute and a half away from the national anthem and opening prayer here. And Brett, I think if you're Westfield, as we talked about many times this season, defense sparks the offense, and that has got to be the way that Westfield's going to win this game tonight.
Yeah, their transition offense has been fed from their defensive pressure on the opposite end, and it really gets things kick-started. And like you said, you got to think that if they're able to play good defense here tonight, force some turnovers, they can kind of get into that high single digits to kind of middle teens in the turnover for Deerfield, then that should bode well offensively for Westfield. They've played very kind of hit or miss at times this season. They've been really hot at points, and then they've kind of ebbed and flowed, with some poor play to match the great play. So hopefully they can kind of continue that crest, that wave that they've been riding the last few games, and pull out another victory here tonight. So we're just under a minute before we're going to start all the pregame festivities and get all the starting lineups called inside the gym and then start with the tip. So how about this? We'll take a break here and be back hopefully with the tip of the game. It's Deerfield and Westfield inside the nest here tonight. You're listening to Lady Hornets basketball on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Hey, Pete, check this out. Come here, little doggy. Sit.
Oh,
Sit.
you train your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of his stuff. Shake.
Oh, maybe he's grumpy, I mean, it is lunchtime, so.
Oh, right, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, yeah.
Must be it. Little doggy.
It's okay. Does it taste good, though?
A little dog with a big bite. Little doggies, starting at $1.29. And save room for a molten cake sundae. This is how you Sonic.
Stay away from that door, Jim, or I'll...
Remember those old Western movies? You could always tell the good guys by their white hats. Well, today the styles have changed, but the hat's still white. At David Reagan Ford and Perry, we focus on being good citizens and good neighbors with straightforward deals, a firm handshake, and no hassle negotiating. Visit us on the web or stop by David Reagan Ford just off I-75, exit 136 in Perry. David Reagan Ford.
You know us. We're the guys in the white hats.
Well, the news is out. Brandon Outfitters has taken Central Georgia by storm as one of the Mid-State's premier outfitters. Located just off I-75 in Perry, Georgia, Brandon has all of the latest gear for any hunting season or just for a nice night out on the town. They still have all of your favorite brands such as Southern Tide, Mountain Khakis, Southern Marsh, Patagonia, Costa, Orvis, and as always, a huge selection of firearms. Brandon also now features new brands such as Sims, Ray-Ban, Kavu, Chaco, Yeti, and much more. Come check them out at 106 Fairview Drive in Perry. They're sure to make your visit one to remember.
Set your own banking hours with Planners First Online Banking. Planners First Online Banking allows you to connect and access your bank accounts 24/7. For those that are always on the go, you can check your balances, pay your bills, transfer funds anytime and anywhere you have internet access. Let Planners First Online Banking make your life a little easier. Planners First, a legacy of excellence since 1896. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Bring in the new year with kudzu from ComSouth. Once installed, you can't stop it from spreading entertainment, media, and communications throughout the entire home from room to room. The ComSouth Kudzu Whole Home DVR allows you to connect up to 5 TVs. And with the high-speed media gateway, digital cable, HD TV, high-speed internet, and telephone services will all spread through your house like Kudzu 2. Stop by and learn more at any ComSouth location in Cochran, Hawkinsville, Perry, and Fort Valley, or go to comsouth.net.
Now, back to the basketball game action inside the Hornets' Nest on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
And welcome back into the Hornets' Nest as we completed the prayer and the national anthem inside the nest. And now we're seeing the starting lineup for the Deerfield Windsor Knights, the Lady Knights. And Kenny, I guess you can maybe reiterate some of those as they come out.
Yeah, here we got at guard will be number 20, Lexi Ruth Sells. Also at guard will be number 24, Haley Sells. At forward will be number 11, Joyner Tyson. And number 22, TZ Williams. And then finally at forward will be Kelsey King. So that is the starting lineup for the Westfield Hornets. And for the Lady Hornets, they are going to come out now here with a crowd doing pretty good for the girls' game here right now. I'd imagine with this matchup, they're going to be filling it up here tonight. But Gracie Duggan will be starting at forward along with Unique Tuberville. And the other four will be number 4, Chelsea Whaley. And that'll be followed by, at guard, will be number 5, Whitley Young. And finally, Caitlin Mosley will be the other guard for Coach Chip Champion. And we were just made aware across the way over there. I might zoom in on the student section. You'll notice And I think it's kind of started with ESPN Game Day, but they got some pictures, if you can tell here, from some of the students. And that is Coach Eubanks, who apparently was a coach here and is now down at Deerfield, Windsor. So little friendly joking going on, I'm sure, with that, but
that's pretty good.
Always funny. I'm sure Coach Craig gets the same treatment when he goes back to John Milledge.
Yeah, absolutely. As tipping here tonight is going to be number 32, Mary Warrington, and number 4, Chelsea Whaley. So Warrington and Whaley, the 2 W's. And Chelsea wins the tip, but it goes right to Deerfield, Windsor, and the shot is up. No good. That was number 33, Kelsey King, blocked by Gracie Duggan from behind.
Yeah, good block that time by Gracie. Gracie thought it went out off of the Deerfield Windsor player, and it's going to stay with the Knights.
Somebody needs to get out on the wing. Number 11 right here is going to take a shot. Long, no good. Rebound down to Deerfield, and it goes in for 2. That was number 32, I believe, Warrington. And she connects on the first points of the game, as Unique Tuberville is going to uniquely bring it up here. It's going to go out of bounds and stay with the Lady Hornets.
Yeah, that one went off the leg of the Lady Knights and will stay with Westfield, but it looks like they're going to deploy a little defensive trap here, are the Lady Knights.
So with 7:39, your score is 2-0, 7:38 now. As pass over here to Tuberville, she drives left baseline, shot is up, no good, rebound down to Deerfield. And coming away with it was number 24, Haley Sales, and she's driving right wing, gets it back out. Kelsey King drives inside, tries to bounce pass. Ball's a little too low, and a walk down inside after the ball was finally picked up by, it looks like, number 22, T.C. Williams. So Chelsea Whaley looking to throw it in. Pass to Caitlin Mosley out of the full court press. Bounce pass to Gracie Duggan. Her shot is off the mark, and it goes out of bounds off Deerfield, and Westfield will retain possession.
That's how you got to break this trap. You got to get it and move it forward at a quick pace. So it was a good play, just unfortunately the basket came up empty.
Caitlin Mosley on the baseline throws it into Gracie Duggan. She can go get that. It wasn't touched, so it was in the backcourt, and Gracie's going to try to bring it up. She gets it to Chelsea Whaley, and Westfield's going to set things up here. 7:04 left to go here in the first quarter. Caitlin Mosley, top of the key. Whaley, right wing. She drives inside. Shot is up. No, she passes it across to Tuberville, and she is fouled on the way up by T.C. Williams. So Tuberville will go to the line here to try to knock this game up at 2.
Yeah, we talked about how good Unique has been from the free throw line here this season. Let's see if she can continue that here on this trip.
Shot is up and good, and she does. 2-1 your score.
So it's kind of funny watching the defensive alignment from Deerfield Windsor doing what Westfield generally does with the trap.
As the ball hits pretty much every part of the rim and comes out, rebound down to Williams, and Deerfield on the move. Left wing to Williams. Williams inside. Gracie Duggan playing great defense, and Caitlin Mosley comes away with a turnover for Westfield. Whaley has it right wing. She drives right baseline, passes it in to Tuberville. Tuberville, nice move inside, and her shot is off the mark, but rebound down to Deerfield, and Deerfield's in transition. All the way into Kelsey King, and she is out of bounds after the block by Caitlin Mosley. She kind of tried to catch her own rebound there.
Good defense so far with Westfield. They're getting a lot of hands in the shooting position and have had about 3 blocks, I believe, so far.
Whaley bringing it up court. As looks like Deerfield's going to stay in that trap as long as they can keep the ball deep inside the backcourt. But once it's initially broken, they're going to try to hurry back. Ball thrown inside, and Whitley Young finally comes up with it. Nice pass right there by Whaley, and Whitley Young connects on the 2.
Yeah, that was a good-looking regain of possession going out of bounds, and to find Whitley right underneath the goal was a great pass.
Tyson throws it into number 33 right there for Deerfield, and that is King. King has the ball stolen away after an errant pass. Chelsea Whaley comes away with it. 5:47 left to go here in the first. Tuberville drives left baseline. Shot is up. No good. She's had a couple of looks like that here tonight, and they just haven't fallen for her. And Deerfield brings it up in transition. Tyson gives it off to number 33, King, who gives it back to Tyson. And right wing here, they're going to reset things. Drives inside, does King. King nowhere to go, and the ball stolen away by Duggan.
Gracie's played a very good first quarter defensively.
Pass in transition there goes off of Deerfield's hands. I believe that was T.C. Williams trying to get her hand in there. And Westfield's going to retain possession. And this might end up being a 9-8 game if someone doesn't score in a hurry.
Yeah, a lot of defense so far, that's for sure.
Westfield having to throw the ball deep in the backcourt. Whitley Young gets it to Gracie Duggan. Duggan's pass is kicked, and good thing it was because that was going to be stolen. T.C. Williams slid up under Unique Tuberville and was going to pick that pass off.
Yeah, so far, both teams playing great defense, and like you said, Brett, we might see a 9-8 type game here.
Ball's thrown in, and a scrum for it on the ground. That's going to be a jump ball, and Westfield will retain possession, and they're going to have the same problem they had just a second ago because they're going to be taking it out on the baseline.
Yeah, under the goal makes it very tough, and Caitlin said, nah, I don't want any of that. I'm the shooter.
Yep.
Find me open for a three.
Both of these teams playing great defense, as you said, Kenny. Trying to get the ball in to somebody. Gets it to Chelsea Whaley finally on the left block. Gets it back out to Whitley Young. Young out to Mosley inside of Tuberville, and Mosley gets it right back. Duggan going to take a shot right wing, shot off the mark, and Tuberville is going to knock it out, and they're going to say it stays with Westfield. No, they're going to change their mind and say it goes to Deerfield.
Yeah, good call there. It went out off of Unique. She slapped it out of bounds, but Westfield's having all sorts of problems. The defense from Deerfield Windsor so far has been smothering.
Yeah, both teams able to get the ball deep inside the zone, but just not able to connect as that ball is thrown in, and they got to throw it back out. Shot is off the mark. Rebound down to Deerfield. Her shot is up, and they're going to call a jump ball, and that will stay with Deerfield.
Again, just good defense. Both teams really stepping it up here so far.
Yeah, absolutely, as this is probably what you're going to see in the Super Bowl, defensive fest. Ball almost tipped away right there, thrown back out. Three is on the way, and up and in by Kelsey King. And Deerfield extends the lead, or it gains the lead 5-3 after that three-point shot from the right wing.
Yeah, I saw her warming up. She has a good shot when she can get open.
Whaley drives inside, throws it to Whitley Young. Young going to dribble it back outside, gets it to Tuberville. Tuberville drives, gets it over to Caitlin Mosley, and they're going to call a block inside.
Wow.
And that is on number 32, Mary Warrington.
And they're going to call that a shooting foul? No, okay.
Nah, she was trying to pass it.
Right.
Clearly.
You know, Westfield's good at sharing the ball here tonight, but they need to sometimes be a little selfish. They passed up some open shots.
Whaley gets the ball, drives inside, looking to shoot. Shot is off the mark. She was almost behind the backboard, and the ball's on the ground, and the shot is up and good by Mosley.
That play was made by Whitley Young, who went down on the scrap heap and came out with the basketball, and just an easy bucket there for Caitlin.
Absolutely. Ball thrown in, way off the mark. Whaley comes away with it. She's going to throw it ahead to Mosley. Mosley dribbles. Shot is up and good. Westfield takes the lead.
There you go. Defense turning into transition offense. That is a thing of beauty for Coach Champion, I'm sure.
And they've created probably 5 turnovers so far, so if they can continue this, exactly the kind of game Westfield wants to play if they can. Deerfield gets the ball on the left wing. Shot is up and no good.
Oh, come on.
To Deerfield, and the ball is blocked, but Mary Warrington was fouled on the play by Whitley Young. She'll go to the line for a chance at 2.
And I'll tell you, that was all on Westfield right there. They caused that. They were lazy on the rebound. It went right between 2 Westfield defenders. They just let it go, and then that forced the foul by Whitley Young.
Warrington at the line. Her shot is short left, and she'll try to get within 1 here. As coming in the game is number 52, Alondra Calhoun, and also number 25, Hannah Mills for the Lady Knights. Westfield has not made any substitutions thus far in the first quarter with 3:28 to go here in the first. Second one off the mark, 2, and rebound down to Calhoun, making an immediate impact. 3 is off the mark, rebound down to Warrington. Shot is off the mark, rebound down to Calhoun. Her shot is off the mark. And Deerfield comes away with it again.
This looks like the Gatewood game.
And the ball is tipped away, but they're going to call a foul on Unique Tuberville, and she fouls number 33 inside Kelsey King.
I mean, this just is a carbon copy so far of that Gatewood game as far as rebounding. They just are getting out-rebounded and can't seem to do anything about it.
Whaley steals the basketball, and she's being pressured there. Great defense, as you said, Kenny. And Westfield going to set things up offensively, and all that work by Deerfield, and they come away with no points. Whaley drives, right wing, shot is up, and good. Westfield takes a 4-point lead.
Good job by Chelsea. She was a little selfish that time, and deservedly so. She had the shot, so she took it.
Mills drives inside, gets it back out to Warrington. Warrington looking for somewhere to go, gets it to King. King, right wing, inside to Calhoun. Calhoun tips the ball away, and Whaley comes away with it. That's got to be 8 turnovers so far by Westfield. They're doing an excellent job on defense.
Well, just a good help from the backside from Chelsea, getting back behind there, and the offensive player didn't know she was there.
Whitley Young gets it to Duggan on the right wing. Inside to Whaley. Ball is thrown away, and it's going to stay with Westfield as Mosley does a good job of not touching it. And as we said before, sometimes you go after it, you try to get it, and you kind of give it yourself away, and Caitlin does a good job of pulling back.
And Jerica Ratliff will come check in for Westfield. Had a couple players check in as well for the Deerfield Lady Knights, and that is T.C. Williams checking back into the game along with Hannah Mills.
Ball inbounds to Whaley. Whaley to Mosley. Mosley's going to step into a three. Her shot is up and no good, way off the mark. Tuberville throws it back out as she tries to save it, and it's going to go over to Deerfield.
Yeah, not a good-looking shot that time from Caitlin. I'm not sure what the issue was. She was open, got to step in and have a good look, but
I think she rushed it just a little bit. Got a little excited, knew she was wide open, and just shouldn't have rushed it. Ball inbound, or thrown into Calhoun, gets it back out on the right wing, left wing right there for Deerfield. Number 24, Haley Sells has it. Trying to pass it inside, and she does. And Whaley is scored over top of inside by Deerfield, and that was number 22, 22, T.C. Williams. Mosley drives inside, bounce pass to Whaley, and they're going to say it goes off Whaley's foot, goes over to Deerfield on the turnover.
And again, sometimes you got to be selfish. I think Caitlin might have had a better shot for herself that time, but she tried to share the basketball maybe when she didn't need to.
9-7 your score, 1:41 left to go here in the first quarter. Westfield is on top, and this has been a very sloppily played game so far. T.C. Williams has the ball inside and has it partially blocked. Good job again by Whaley. Rebound down to Whitley Young, who gets it over to Mosley. Mosley setting things up here for the Lady Hornets. Whitley Young has the basketball, drives inside, back out to Jerica Ratliff. Over to Young again, inside to Whaley. Whaley closes out nicely and scores.
Good entry pass that time here by the Lady Hornets, and Whaley, great body position, made it an easy shot.
11-7 your score with 1:05 left to go first. That looked like a little bit of a walk. Ball thrown all the way around, and Whaley comes away with it as she tips the pass to herself. Again, Westfield looking to pass a little too much. The ball is on the ground, and both teams have dual possession. It almost looked like Caitlin was on the ground.
Yeah, like somebody said here.
Caitlin was out of bounds.
Yeah, both players had their feet out of bounds, but I guess that's a safe call.
Yeah, it's number 33, Kelsey King, comes back into the game for Sales, I believe. Or no, that was number 11 taking a seat, Jordan Tyson.
Oh, yeah, nice entry pass.
And Whaley scores on the inbounds play underneath the basket, 13-7 your score.
Good job, just found her just kind of sneaking right behind the defender and right there under the hoop for an easy basket.
Kelsey King driving right wing, gets it back out, shot is up, and going to be short rebound down to Whaley. That was number 24, Haley Sells, and Whaley does a good job on the rebound. The shot never had a chance. 13-7 your score, under 30 seconds to go in the first. Mosley needs some help. She gets it out to Tuberville. Tuberville drives. Shot is up, no good. It's short, goes out off of Deerfield, and Westfield will probably be able to hold it for the last shot. Coming into the game is Gracie Duggan. Jerica Ratliff probably, no. Unique Tuberville going to take a seat.
Just give her a little bit of rest. Combine this with the stoppage after the first quarter. Give her a little bit more breathing time.
Mosley underneath the goal, looking to get it to somebody. She gets it out to Ratliff. Ratliff back to Mosley. Ball was tipped on the way, but Mosley comes away with it. Under 10. Mosley drives. Inside, passes off Duggan's hand. A little too hot for Duggan. And Mosley probably wishes she would have just pulled up and taken the shot.
Yeah, again, I mean, I like the sharing of the basketball. Don't get me wrong. That is good team movement of the ball, but you got to take a shot if it's there.
Shot is up by King. No good. Off the back iron. That's the end of the first quarter. Westfield, the Lady Hornets on top of Deerfield, the Lady Knights, 13-7. listening to Lady Hornets basketball on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Well, the news is out. Brandon Outfitters has taken Central Georgia by storm as one of the Mid-State's premier outfitters. Located just off I-75 in Perry, Georgia, Brandon has all of the latest gear for any hunting season or just for a nice night out on the town. They still have all of your favorite brands such as Southern Tide, Mountain Khakis, Southern Marsh, Patagonia, Costa, Orvis, and as always, a huge selection of firearms. Brandon also now features new brands such as Sims, Ray-Ban, Kavu, Chaco, Yeti, and much more. Come check them out at 106 Fairview Drive in Perry. They're sure to make your visit one to remember. Now, back to the basketball game action inside the Hornets' Nest on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
And welcome back into the Nest. I'm Brett Taylor alongside me, Kenny Kofer. And Kenny, great defensive quarter for the Westfield Lady Hornets.
Yeah, I mean, they just did what we talked about in the pregame. They're turning these defensive possessions into transition offense, and it's really, really helping them out here so far tonight as they lead 13-7 to start this second quarter.
13-7 your score. Deerfield has possession to start the second. Number 12 checks into the game. Patsy Carty, she gets the ball inside to Warrington, gets it back out to Williams. Her shot is off the mark, rebound down to Duggan.
Looked like a good-looking shot from where we were, right on the line, just a little too strong.
Looked like it was going to bounce around and finally find the way through the net, but it doesn't, and Westfield has the ball. Gracie Duggan has Warrington all on her back as Whitley Young tries to get it inside to her. And Westfield will take the ball out underneath the goal, and that's kind of been a friend for Deerfield, to be honest. Not a bad foul. Whaley gets it, finally. Whaley inside of Tuberville. Tuberville shot is off the mark, but she is fouled by Williams inside, and Tuberville will go to the line for two.
And Unique is 1 of 2 here tonight from the free throw line, as Westfield maintains a 6-point lead here early in this second quarter.
Tuberville. Shot is up and good. And adds to the lead right there for the Westfield Lady Hornets, who are on top 14-7 with just 7:31 to go here in the second quarter. Second shot on the way from Tuberville. It is up and good, and Westfield takes an 8-point lead.
Unique continuing that great foul shooting that she's had all season.
15-7 your score as number 11, Tyson, brings it up for Deerfield. She's being pressured closely by Whitley Young. Warrington drives inside. Shot is off the mark. Rebound down to Calhoun. No, Tuberville comes away with it, trying to get in transition, and Westfield does. Mosley ahead. Shot is up and good. And Deerfield going to take a timeout, so Westfield's on top 17-7. We'll take a break with them. Listen to Lady Hornet basketball on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Bring in the new year with kudzu from ComSouth. Once installed, you can't stop it from spreading entertainment, media, and communications throughout the entire home from room to room. The ComSouth Kudzu Whole Home DVR allows you to connect up to 5 TVs. And with the high-speed media gateway, digital cable, HD TV, high-speed internet, and telephone services will all spread through your house like Kudzu 2. Stop by and learn more at any ComSouth location in Cochran, Hawkinsville, Perry, and Fort Valley, or go to comsouth.net.
Now, back to the basketball game action inside the Hornets' Nest on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
And welcome back inside the Nest. Lady Hornets on top 17-7. Tyson going to bring it up for the Lady Knights. Number 12, Carter has it. Gets it back to Tyson. Throwing it to number 33 right there, King. And King gets it back to Tyson. Being guarded far out. And Tuberville almost comes away with the steal. Calhoun finally comes away with the ball. She falls down on her own, loses her balance, and Tuberville comes away with it. Yet another steal for Westfield. Tuberville picks up her dribble, trying to get it to somebody, finally gets it to Young. Back inside of Tuberville, nice give and go, and her shot is blocked. That ball should stay with Westfield. Wow, that went off. Whew, I don't know about that. That went off King's hand, I believe.
Yeah, that was a good entry pass down to the Unique, but great defense by the Lady Knights forcing that block. And, yeah, kind of a questionable call there to go against Westfield, but I'm sure the law of averages will balance out somehow here tonight.
Shot is off the mark right there by Tyson, and Tuberville fights for the ball. I don't know about joint possession there. It looked like Tuberville came away with it.
But Westfield will get the ball anyway as the possession arrow will go to the home team.
So Westfield gains possession back, and what in effect becomes a turnover. Nice move right there by Mosley. Mosley drives on the right side of the paint. Her shot is up. No good. Rebound down to Calhoun. Calhoun being pressured by Tuberville and finally comes away with it. Tyson throws it ahead. Whitley Young, great defense right there. Forces an errant shot, and Duggan throws it ahead. Mosley comes away with it. Her shot is off the mark. Rebound down to Deerfield.
Hectic pace here in the last few possessions for both teams.
Kelsey King has it on the outside for Deerfield. Almost stolen away by Whaley, trying to get the ball right there to Carter. Gets it back out to Tyson. Back to King. King looking to shoot. She's going to elect to hold it out front. She dribbles inside. Gets it back. Outside to Carter.
Foul's going to go on Chelsea Whaley.
Whaley or Young?
Whaley.
Whaley.
So team's third. First foul for Chelsea.
Is that how you say that? Carty?
Patsy Carty.
Okay.
That's how I
sure I'm pronouncing it. Good defense right there by Whaley, and she comes away with a steal. And got to be a foul. And it is on, is that Warrington? No, that's on number...
Yeah, number 3.
33, Kelsey King. As you said, Kenny, very frantic pace, not frantic.
Well, that was, again, those long arms of Chelsea, come into play there as she got her hands in the passing lanes and did a really good job deflecting that ball and then coming up with it all by herself.
Whaley, left wing, drives left baseline, tries to throw it inside, and again, just pull up right there and make the shot, looking to pass it too much. Sales gets it over to King, and King connects on the layup.
Yeah, I'm sure that's something that Coach Champion's have to talk to him about there at halftime is, look, guys, I appreciate the ball movement.
I don't understand how that's not a foul.
Yeah, she pretty much got clobbered there at midcourt.
Shoot it right there.
Travel.
We're going to call 3 seconds in the lane on Westfield. Wow.
And here comes a player checking in. Joyner Tyson checking out and checking in will be Hannah Mills.
Westfield goes from should have been a foul at half court to getting a 3-second call. Not sure what's the importance of that, but anyways, moving forward. Ball left wing. Going to call a push right there on Gracie Duggan on the left baseline.
So that's number 4 team foul, first on Gracie. 4 of the 5 starters here with single fouls in this first half. The only one without one is Caitlin Mosley. Westfield.
Go ahead, King.
No, I was going to say Westfield's kind of gone exclusively with their starting 5 with the exchange of Jerica Ratliff once.
King comes away with it, goes inside her, shot is blocked, rebound down to Tuberville. Gets it out to Mosley. Mosley ahead to Whaley in transition. Whaley goes up, and she's fouled on the way up. And she's going to go to the line for a chance to get the lead back to 10 for Westfield.
And that time, she did what she needed to do. She got the basketball and went to the basket hard. It wasn't looking to pass. And again, the transition defense turns into a good offensive possession.
Westfield's going to have to do a better job of pulling up and taking those mid-range shots as Whaley connects on the front end of the 2-shot foul. 18-9 your score. With 4:34 left to go here in the second quarter, her second shot's off the mark. Rebound down to Warrington, and Tuberville fouls her on the way up.
And that is Unique's second, so you might see somebody come in here shortly. And there, just as I said, here comes Jerica Ratliff to take Unique Tuberville's position.
Tuberville takes the seat. Westfield is in the bonus now in the foul situation. Not sure how many they have to give. But with 4:30 left to go here, anytime Westfield's fouled from the remaining of the half, they'll go to the line. Ooh, a carry, no call. I don't know what game these refs are watching. They're missing some blatant calls on both sides. As Jerica Ratliff comes away with a steal, almost a walk there by Gracie Duggan, and Ratliff comes away with it. And they're going to call a jump ball there on the inside. That'll stay with Deerfield. Should have been a foul, I think, on Jerica Ratliff. Westfield gets away with a call there. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what, the student section, they loved it. They liked the hustle. They're over there cheering on Jericho, just down all over the floor.
Yeah, I agree. I like the hustle, but I think missing some obvious calls here both ways. At least it's consistently bad. Shot is off the mark. Rebound down to Whitley Young. Young needs to just pull up, doesn't have the numbers, and she has the ball stolen away, and ball is thrown up by Deerfield to Kelsey King. King going to drive inside. Mosley, good defense, and they're going to call a foul on somebody. Can't be on Mosley. Let's see who they call it on.
And that's going to go on Chelsea Whaley.
Kelsey King will go to the line for a chance at 2 here to cut the lead to 7.
And this is the most enthusiastic I've seen the student section for these girls' games, and there's a large contingent of young ladies over there supporting their Lady Hornets here tonight.
Shot is off the mark. I tell you what, I think if Whaley just lets Mosley play D there, Mosley blocked the shot, and Whaley came from behind and fouled her. And I think if she just lets Mosley play defense, Westfield probably has the basketball right now.
T.C. Williams comes in to replace Alondra Calhoun for the Lady Knights.
Second shot is off the mark, rebound down to Ratliff. Ratliff to Mosley, and Mosley's going to bring it up here for Westfield. The shooting guard playing point guard until Jackie Barr can get back in the game here for Westfield later on in the season.
We hope, anyway.
Well, she's shooting the ball in warm-up. I mean, come on. Shot is off the mark. Looked like more of a pass. Rebound down to Deerfield. Kelsey King going to push it in transition. Good defense right there. Shot is off the mark. Rebound down to Mosley. Mosley being pressured, and they're going to call a foul. Not sure it's going to go on either Tyson or King. Inside, Westfield will be in the bonus. Both teams are now in the bonus. It is going to go against Kelsey King. So both teams from here on out in the first half will be going to the line on every foul.
And this will be the first time to the line tonight for Caitlin Mosley. So she'll be shooting the front end of this 1-and-1 here.
Let's see if she can get that shooting stroke going. Shot is up, no good. Off the right side of the iron, it goes all the way to the left side of the court. Rebound down to Deerfield. Pass ahead, too long for Kelsey King. Goes out of bounds off the Lady Knights, and Westfield gets possession back.
And a good job of trailing there on defense by Chelsea Whaley. Almost came up with the steal from behind before the bad pass.
Caitlin Mosley back to Whaley. Whaley throws it ahead to Duggan. Duggan goes up with it. Shot is off the mark. Rebound down to T.C. Williams, who gets it ahead to Tyson. Tyson going to drive in, going to think better of it and pull it back out. Gets it out to Williams. Her shot is off the mark. Rebound down to King, who gets it back to Tyson. 3-ball on the way. Shot is off the front iron. Rebound down to Duggan.
Duggan, she's not making many shots, Brett, but she is doing a great job on the boards and defense.
Absolutely. I wonder when each coach is going to say, let's go into the half-court offense here. It's a little too sloppy. Ball's on the floor. Nobody has possession, and they're going to call a timeout. Wow. And that's going to keep possession with the Lady Knights. We'll stay here with 2:42 left to go here in the first half. And, Kenny, it's been a crazy pace so far. Very sloppy play, but Westfield has taken advantage of some key turnovers from Deerfield, and they have a 9-point lead with 2:42 left to go in the first.
Yeah, I mean, Deerfield doesn't have any answers, and another thing that's really hurting Deerfield right now is they're not converting on the free throw line. I mean, Westfield's fouling them, giving them opportunities, but I can only think of maybe making 1 or 2 of the free throws that they've had so far. And on the other hand, Westfield is now 4 of 7 from the line. So they're not doing great, but they're over 50%, and that has helped so far for Westfield. And a ComSouth stat update in the first quarter, Chelsea Whaley was 3 of 4 with 6 points. Whitley Young 1 of 1 for 2. Gracie Duggan was 0 of 2 from the field. Unique Tuberville 0 of 4. Caitlin Mosley was 2 of 3 for 4 points.
Westfield going to stay in this half-court defense, see if they can't pressure some more turnovers away from Deerfield. And I tell you what, Kenny, it could be a worse score for Deerfield if Westfield would just decide to pull up and shoot the mid-range. Tisa Williams going to do that right here. Shot is off the mark, short. Rebound down to Whaley. Whaley ahead to Whitley Young. Young goes up. Shot is off the mark. Rebound down to Duggan. Duggan shot is up. No good. Rebound down to Mosley. Mosley looked like she was fouled, and it goes out off her hands. I tell you what, they're letting them play. Got to say that.
Oh, absolutely. Both teams are banging around all over the floor, and you know, still been some fouls called, but you're right. It's been a very whistle-free game.
With 2:15 left to go here in the first half, Westfield is on top by 9. Lady Hornets lead 18-9. Jerica Ratliff extending her defense out. Warrington is going to be tripped by Gracie Duggan. She'll go to the line. So Westfield and Deerfield are both in the bonus here late in the first half.
And that's Gracie's second, team 7th, and you're going to see Unique Tuberville come into the game to replace Gracie.
So far in this game, the Lady Hornets have gone with a 6-man rotation.
Yeah, they've really, the only person off the bench, as we said, has been Jerica Ratliff. So Westfield's really playing bare bones right now.
Shot is off the mark by Warrington. Rebound down to Tuberville. Tuberville shakes Mosley off, and she's going to set things up here for Westfield. Westfield trying to get it inside to Whaley, and Tuberville gets the ball back out. Over to Mosley. Her shot is up. No good. Rebound down to Whaley, and Whaley carries the ball. That was really more of a walk than a carry because she took 2 steps before she dribbled again.
Yeah, Westfield's not, I mean, so far here in this quarter, they've made 1 shot. 1 from the field. So not a very good shooting performance here so far, but thankfully it's just been the same way for the Lady Knights.
Tyson drives, gets it over to Warrington. Warrington gets it inside, and they're going to call a foul. Down there is number 22, T.C. Williams, tries to go up for the shot. Not sure if they're going to say that was in the act of shooting. They're going to say it was on the floor, so it'll be a 1-and-1 here for the Deerfield Windsor Lady Knights.
But that is now 2 fouls each for 4 of the 5 starters for Westfield. Caitlin Mosley with none.
Shot is in and out, and again, the free throw woes for Deerfield continues. Under a minute and a half to go here. Caitlin Mosley setting things up for the Lady Hornets. Whaley has the ball, gets it over to Tuberville. Unique looking, throws the ball inside of Ratliff, who gets it out to Mosley. Her shot is up, no good. Rebound backside down to Kelsey King, and King being trapped. She's going to throw it here on the right timeline to number 24, Sales. Sales drives inside. Her shot is off the mark. Rebound down to Mosley. 1:04 left to go here in the first half. Mosley has the basketball. Westfield on top, 18-9. Under a minute. Whitley Young has it, left wing. Over to Whaley. Whaley going to drive left baseline. Shot is up. No good. Rebound down to Tuberville. Tuberville has the ball stolen away, but they're going to call it jump ball, and Westfield should retain possession.
Yeah, they are just, I can't remember the number of times we've had about, 10 jump balls here. And looks like Deerfield's going to come with some.
Mills and Calhoun come in for Kelsey King, and I didn't see who. I think maybe T.C. Williams took a seat. Whaley going to have the ball left wing. Has the ball stolen away by Tyson. Tyson driving. Has the ball blocked. Shot was blocked by Mosley. Mosley driving. Going inside. Looks like she was fouled on the way up. Stripped. And Westfield will keep possession with under 30 to go. Whaley drives. Nice pass. Shot is up and good by Tuberville.
Good job that time. Getting some points here with just 18 seconds left in the half.
20-9 your score. Westfield is on top by 11. Whaley comes away with it. And they're going to say it's a jump ball maybe. And it's going to stay with Deerfield.
I think Chip, Coach Champion, he's laughing down there. 10 seconds left here on the game clock. Westfield up by 11.
Whaley going to guard the inbounds. She almost comes away with it again. And Joyner has it at the top. Tyson has it at the top of the key. Get it out to Warrington. Warrington shoots. Shot is off the mark. Rebound down. Out of bounds. Doesn't matter. Horn sounds. Westfield is on top at halftime, 20-9. And the Lady Hornets will take that going into halftime. And we'll take a quick break. Be back with the Planners first halftime. You're listening to Lady Hornet Basketball on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Well, the news is out. Brandon Outfitters has taken Central Georgia by storm as one of the Mid-State's premier outfitters. Located just off I-75 in Perry, Georgia, Brandon has all of the latest gear for any hunting season or just for a nice night out on the town. They still have all of your favorite brands such as Southern Tide, Mountain Khakis, Southern Marsh, Patagonia, Costa, Orvis, and as always, a huge selection of firearms. Brandon also now features new brands such as Sims, Ray-Ban, Kavu, Chaco, Yeti, and much more. Come check them out at 106 Fairview Drive in Perry. They're sure to make your visit one to remember.
Set your own banking hours with Planners First Online Banking. Planners First Online Banking allows you to connect and access your bank accounts 24/7. For those that are always on the go, you can check your balances, pay your bills, transfer funds anytime and anywhere you have internet access. Let Planners First Online Banking make your life a little easier. Planners First, a legacy of excellence since 1896. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Here we met Jim. All right.
Remember those old Western movies? You could always tell the good guys by their white hats. Well, today the styles have changed, but the hat's still white. At David Reagan Ford and Perry, we focus on being good citizens and good neighbors with straightforward deals, a firm handshake, and no hassle negotiating. Visit us on the web or stop by David Reagan Ford just off I-75, exit 136 in Perry. David Reagan Ford.
You know us. We're the guys in the white hats.
Bring in the new year with kudzu from ComSouth. Once installed, you can't stop it from spreading entertainment, media, and communications throughout the entire home from room to room. The ComSouth kudzu whole home DVR allows you to connect up to 5 TVs. And with the high-speed media gateway, digital cable, HD TV, high-speed internet, and telephone services will all spread through your house like kudzu too. Stop by and learn more at any ComSouth location in Cochran, Hawkinsville, Perry, and Fort Valley, or go to comsouth.net.
Hey, Pete, check this out. Come here, little doggy. Sit.
Oh,
Sit.
you train your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of his stuff. Shake.
Oh, maybe he's grumpy, you know? I mean, it is lunchtime, so...
Oh, right, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime,
That
yeah.
must be it. Little doggy.
It's okay. Does it taste good, though?
A little dog with a big bite. Little doggies starting at $1.29 and save room for a molten cake sundae. This is how you Sonic.
On the athletic field and in the classroom, students at the Westfield School are preparing to meet the challenging demands of the 21st century. Our dedicated faculty teaches and inspires students from pre-K to 12th grade to think critically and learn globally, preparing our students for college in a Christian environment that has been the Westfield mission for more than 44 years. And our students excel from football to chorus, art to tennis, and basketball to debate. Westfield students aspire to be champions. It's the Westfield experience. To learn more about the Westfield School, visit our website, westfieldschool.org, or call our admissions office at 987-0547. The Westfield School, ready for college, ready for life.
Now back to Kenny and Brett with the Middle Georgia Sports Network's halftime show, presented by Planners First.
And welcome back into the Nest to the Planners First halftime show. And Kenny, I tell you what, if you're Coach Chip Champion, you like the halftime score here, as Westfield has held the Lady Knights under 10 points here during the first half. So on top 20-9, and you got to think the Lady Hornets like where they sit right now.
Yeah, I mean, the score is definitely in their favor, and they played great defense. Now, offensively, they have not shot the basketball very well so far here in the first half. And I can go ahead and give you the rundown on the first half stats as they look like this, and these stats are brought to you by ComSouth. In the first half, Chelsea Whaley was 3 of 6 from the field for 7 points. Whitley Young was 1 of 2 for 2 points. Gracie Duggan, 0 of 5 with no points. Unique Tuberville was 1 of 7 for 5 points here in the game. And Caitlin Mosley was 3 of 7 for 6 points. All that adding up to the total halftime points of 20 for Westfield. So not a very good shooting percentage so far for Westfield. But like you said, Brett, they are leading 20-9, and their defense has been outstanding. They've had a number of blocks, and they've also had a number of steals, especially Chelsea Whaley, who is putting her arms in the passing lanes on inbounds plays, as well as just the over-the-top lobs down low.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we talked about during the first half and when Westfield was on offense, it just seemed like they were trying to pass it a little too much, trying to find that perfect shot instead of just taking what was available, honestly. And I think Coach Champion will probably tell them there in halftime to say, you know, just pull up. When you're wide open like that, stop looking for the extra pass and just pull up and shoot it. You make 25% of those, Westfield's probably up almost 20 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, 20 points for a first half, you would think you would probably be trailing, but not have a double-digit lead. But that just speaks to how well they played defense. And if they could continue that, and like you said, Brett, be a little less selfish, or a little more selfish, excuse me.
More aggressive, too.
On the offensive side, and just take the open shot, and you would have a much bigger lead, as Westfield is obviously, it appears to me, the more talented team here tonight, but it's whether or not they can continue this defense going forward and hopefully have some improved shooting in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Coach Champion will try to turn up the defensive pressure even more, see if he can't continue to create those turnovers. We talked about it in the pregame. If Westfield is creating turnovers, their offense is going to come because they can get out in transition, and they're very smart with the basketball, and they can cut down on those extra passes and just take the shots. I think that's your key ingredients for the second half if you're the Lady Hornets. Deerfield, they really just got to hold on to the basketball and try to make some shots. They just have had no success, especially from the outside. I think they've made one shot from the outside. They've taken probably 5, and then inside, Westfield has blocked probably 6. So Westfield has just done the job defensively, and if they catch fire offensively here in the second half, it could get ugly.
Yeah, I mean, when you're leading by 11, and I don't have the shooting percentage here, I can probably calculate that for you real quick, but
nah, don't worry about it.
They need to step it up on the offensive side of things and take the basket when it's presented. So, Brett, I don't know about you, but I say we go ahead and take a quick break here, and before we come back in to the second half action, as you've been listening to the Planters First Halftime Show right here on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Set your own banking hours with Planters First Online Banking. Planters First Online Banking allows you to connect and access your bank accounts 24/7. For those that are always on the go, you can check your balances, pay your bills, transfer funds anytime and anywhere you have internet access. Let Planters First Online Banking make your life a little easier. Planters First, a legacy of excellence since 1896. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hey, Pete, check this out. Come here, little doggy. Sit.
Oh,
Sit.
you train your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of his stuff. Shake.
Oh, maybe he's grumpy, I mean, it is lunchtime, so.
Oh, right, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, yeah.
Must be it. Little doggy.
It's okay. Does it taste good, though?
A little dog with a big bite. Little doggies, starting at $1.29. And save room for a molten cake sundae. This is how you Sonic.
On the athletic field and in the classroom, students at the Westfield School are preparing to meet the challenging demands of the 21st century. Our dedicated faculty teaches and inspires students from pre-K to 12th grade to think critically and learn globally, preparing our students for college in a Christian environment that has been the Westfield mission for more than 44 years. And our students excel from football to chorus, art to tennis, and basketball to debate. Westfield students aspire to be champions. It's the Westfield experience. To learn more about the Westfield School, visit our website, westfieldschool.org, or call our admissions office at 987-0547. The Westfield School, ready for college, ready for life.
Welcome back to the Middle Georgia Sports Network's Halftime Show, brought to you by Planters First.
And welcome back inside the Hornets Nest. I'm Brett Taylor alongside me, Kenny Kofer, and that kind of wraps up the Planters First Halftime Show as Westfield is on top 20-9 at the half here, and looking to start out here in the second half very strong as Westfield will have possession here starting the second half.
And I just want to tell everybody, if you got a question or a comment about tonight's game or just want to ask us anything, go to Twitter and follow us at MidGA Sports, at MidGA Sports, and just tweet a question or whatever you want. Just say, what did you think of that call, or what do you think of the way the girls are playing so far? What's their shooting woes, or how can we fix that? Just tweet to us, and we'll be sure to answer as we can and as time allows.
I am going to change our Twitter handle to @thegreatestever. Eva. EVA. Nah, sure that's probably taken up already. So Whitley Young will inbound it to Mosley to start this second half for Westfield as soon as the clock runs out. And there it goes. So we should be starting here in the next 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and there goes the ball. Man, I'm good. Caitlin Mosley gets it over to Whitley Young, left wing, inside to Tuberville. Tuberville drives, her shot is up and no good. Rebound down to Kelsey King, and Whaley had great position right there, just couldn't come away with it.
And Tuberville almost walked when she got the ball before she even shot.
King gets it out. Ooh, looked like a walk there, no call. Inside to Warrington. Warrington back out to Tyson, who gets it over to King. King back to Tyson. Over here to Williams. Her shot is off the mark. Rebound down to Warrington, and her shot is partially blocked. Duggan comes away with it.
And again, the shooting woes for Deerfield Windsor struggling here right now.
Whitley Young makes an acrobatic catch over there on the left wing and Mosley has the ball back with 7:15 left to go here in the third quarter. Duggan has it inside. Shot is off the mark. Rebound down to Deerfield and T.C. Williams.
Good defense that time by T.C. Williams down low on Gracie Duggan, forcing that missed shot.
Sale's going to run the point here for Deerfield. Deerfield going to throw it inside, and Tuberville just probably didn't need to touch that at all, as Warrington was trying to go after it, and I believe it was a little too tall for her. And Tuberville helps out Deerfield there, gives the ball back to the Lady Knights. Ball thrown in to Tyson. Tyson has it on the right wing. Going to set things back up here at the top of the key. She gets it over to Warrington. Warrington all the way across court to Sales, who gets it back out to Tyson, over to King. King has the ball tipped away, but T.C. Williams comes away with it. Her shot is off the mark. Rebound back to Williams, and Williams gets it to Warrington. And wow, that was not a foul. That's a terrible call.
And that'll go on.
That was completely all ball.
That'll go on Gracie Duggan. That's her third foul. So she might not be long here.
If that was a foul, I'm a spotted leopard. Just saying.
I do see some spots.
Warrington's shot is up. No good off the front right of the iron.
And again, they just struggle, continue to struggle, shooting the basketball, whether it's from the field or the free throw line.
Warrington's second attempt. Shot is off the mark. Rebound down to off T.C. Williams, and it's going to go over to Westfield. That should have been a foul, I believe, again. But
could have been over the back or just a push foul, but Westfield gets the ball back anyways, and we move on.
Whaley over to Mosley. Mosley back to Whaley. Whaley to Whitley Young. Young got to throw it here on this side, and she does. Whoa, I don't know about that.
Wow.
That's a bad call.
That's a tough one.
She came down a foot over on this side of the line. What are you looking at? That's a bad call. Wow.
And the mild-mannered Whitley Young, very frustrated. Got to catch up with her last week at the halftime show of the boys game, and very sweet young girl, but she was even frustrated with that call.
I mean, that's not a plain call. That's where you come down. There's a walk inside right there. And, I mean, these aren't even discretionary calls. These are clearly defined. There's a line there. Just look at it and see where their feet are. How hard is that?
Well, the press is giving Westfield fits here right now.
As Mosley does a good job of kind of forcing the issue there on the timeline, and blocking foul is called there against Deerfield.
Yeah, that'll go on Mary Warrington. Deerfield.
20-9 your score early in the third here with only 2 minutes gone.
Oh, that's backcourt right there.
No, her right foot was on the other side. Looked like a foul from behind, no call. Ball is loose. It's just ugly. Ball thrown up to T.C. Williams, over to Kelsey King. Her shot is up and good. And Deerfield cuts into the lead. 22-11 is your score.
Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy game right now for both teams.
Whaley drives inside, pulls up, jump shot is good, and Westfield gets that 11-point lead right back. 22-11 your score with 5:34 left to go here in the third. Whaley getting those long arms in there. She's going to drive inside in transition. Her shot is up and good, and Westfield extends the lead.
She can take over a basketball game with her length, and right now she's playing so well defensively. She's starting to get those offensive buckets falling too.
Ball thrown inside of T.C. Williams. Her shot is up and good, and Deerfield comes right back.
That would eat me up if I were a coach. Those high lob-ins should be easy to come back and make steals.
Nice pass in transition, and Gracie Duggan connects, and Deerfield, although they're scoring, Westfield is coming right back at them. Kelsey King drives left wing, gets it back out to T.C. Williams. Her shot, yes, she's going to take it, is good, and she cuts a lead to 10 for Deerfield.
So just as badly as the girls have been shooting here early, now all of a sudden they can't miss.
Tuberville gets it to Whaley. Whaley gets it over to Mosley. Mosley was fouled by Tyson, I believe.
Yeah, she'll get the foul. That'll go on Joyner Tyson, and she ended up on her head and back afterwards. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
As Whaley has it there on the timeline, she's going to throw it into Mosley, and Mosley's going to set things up here for Westfield, who is on top by 10. Gracie Duggan, right wing, inside of Tuberville, ball tipped away, and Tuberville gets it right back. Her shot is up and good, and she's going to go to the line for a chance at the old-fashioned three.
Good job by Unique. She saved that ball. It looked like it was going to go out of bounds. Actually, the Deerfield defender threw it right to her, and then the easy basket and the foul chance for the three-point play, and Westfield to go up by 13 will be the highest total here tonight.
It would be the second time, so it will match the highest total. But yes, shot is off the mark, rebound down to Whaley, and now Whaley has a chance to go up 14, gets it back out to Mosley. Mosley doing a good job of kind of redirecting her body and gets it inside of Tuberville, and Tuberville extends the lead to 14 for Westfield, and Deerfield is going to take a timeout. We'll take a break with them. Lady Hornets on top by 14. You listen to Lady Hornet basketball on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Set your own banking hours with Planners First Online Banking. Planners First Online Banking allows you to connect and access your bank accounts 24/7. For those that are always on the go, you can check your balances, pay your bills, transfer funds anytime and anywhere you have internet access. Let Planners First Online Banking make your life a little easier. Planners First, a legacy of excellence since 1896. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Now, back to the basketball game action inside the Hornets' Nest on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
80.
Welcome back into the Hornets' Nest. Kenny and I making fun of each other's kids here. What great parents and friends we are. 30-16 your score with 4:08 left to go here in the third. Welcome back to the Nest here as the Lady Hornets have kind of weathered the storm here. Deerfield has kind of come out. They've almost equaled their scoring for the first half here just in the first 4 minutes of the third.
Yeah, I mean, it was 20-9 at halftime, so Westfield here has outscored them 10-7 to start this half. And so far in the past few minutes, the teams have been shooting lights out, especially considering Westfield shot 29% from the field there in the first half and 57% from the free throw line. Much better here in the second half for both teams, though.
Yes, a little bit of a weave going to be run here, and Sale is going to be fouled by Tuberville. And Coach Champion's telling her, all you got to do is make one more step there and you can take a charge. It's going to be a foul inside there on Tuberville, and the Lady Knights will take it out on the baseline, and Unique's got 3.
Yeah, her and Gracie Duggan both.
Kelsey King walks with the ball as she thought about taking a 3, tried to pump fake, and then just drag that pivot foot, and you can't do it.
Yeah, that's an easy call there for the referee.
Mosley gets the ball, and being guarded there, Deerfield is extending, and they just cannot keep Westfield from breaking it. And an ill-advised pass right there by Duggan, and King comes away with it. And, Duggan almost stole it right back, and they're going to say it goes out off of Deerfield. Wow. And now they're going to have a conference, and I guarantee it gets overturned.
As well it should. It went out off Gracie. But
oh, she's going to keep with it. Wow.
Well, they're talking it through. I thought it went out.
It must have said when Gracie grabbed it, it must have hit her leg over there. I couldn't see, but I was agreeing with you. I thought that maybe that was going to go back over.
Oh,
ball
boy.
Thrown all the way over to Whaley, goes off of Duggan's hands, and
it's a moot
Deerfield is going to get possession back, so the call doesn't even really matter. Westfield gives it right back.
Westfield's got to work on their inbound plays because they seem out of sorts when it comes to trying to get the basketball in within that 5 seconds.
It just seemed too lackadaisical. Calhoun, left wing, tries to get inside to Williams. Ball bounces around. Whitley Young, great block on the backside, and Unique almost walks, gets the ball out to Whaley. Whaley going to throw it all the way across court to Whitley Young, and it goes out off the top of her hands, and I don't understand why Whaley doesn't just dribble it up here on this side.
Hey,
Westfield's trying to go too quick.
Right. I think sometimes the girls forget that, you can put the basketball on the floor and move.
Especially with a 14-point lead. You don't have a shot clock, just milk the clock a little.
Right.
Ball thrown all the way across court here to Sales. Sales back out to Calhoun. Calhoun inside to T.C. Williams. Gracie Duggan trying to tip it away. Inside to Calhoun, who gets it out to King. King's shot is up. And a bank shot. Goodness gracious, that breaks your heart if you're Westfield. As they play great defense and give up a lucky 3 there.
And again, the press defense employed there by Deerfield.
Shot is off the mark. Rebound back down to Westfield. Whaley takes a 3, and her shot is good.
Chelsea taking the rare 3 there and gets it to go. The first 3 of the night for Westfield.
King pump fakes, drives inside, gets it back out to Williams. Her shot is off the mark. Rebound down to Deerfield, and Tyson comes away with it. They're going to call a foul on Mosley.
So she'll be shooting 2 here. That's a shooting foul for Tyson.
So Tyson will go to the free throw line to try to cut into this Westfield lead. Westfield led by 11, and they're up by 14 now.
And I'd love to talk to Coach Champion at the halftime of the boys' game as Tyson misses that free throw and ask him, was it a strategy to play only 6 players as Jerica Ratliff comes back in? That's all we've seen so far off the bench is just Jerica Ratliff for this Westfield team.
Second shot is up and good. And the lead now is 13. Westfield on top with 2:25 left to go here in the third. Mosley drives all the way in. Her shot is off the mark, but she is fouled by T.C. Williams, and Mosley going to go to the line for a chance to extend the lead to 15.
And Westfield just continues to grind this clock and really build their lead slowly but surely.
And Mosley at the line. 33-20 your score. Shot is up and good.
Mosley now 1 of 2 from the line.
34-20 your score. 2:20 to go here in the third quarter. And the Lady Hornets have been stifling on defense so far in this game. The second shot is up and good. And Westfield has their largest lead of the night extended out to 15.
And Caitlin now has 10 points here in the game.
Deerfield has scored 11 points in this second half, and they trail by 4 more points than they did at halftime. And Whaley gets away with a foul there, and Tuberville reads the play, and jump ball going to stay with Deerfield.
And again, the world's record for the most jump balls continues here in this game.
Yeah, I thought that Westfield got away with a foul there, and but both teams really done it, and they've kind of let them play, so we'll go with it, I guess. Ball's thrown in. Tyson, I keep wanting to call her Joyner. That's her first name. And Sales has a shot. Off the mark. Rebound down to Calhoun. Calhoun, her shot is off the mark, and she traveled on the play. It's going to go over to Westfield.
Yeah, she did a great job in getting position on the defensive rebound there, but kind of spun in place. If she would have put the ball on the floor, I think she would have been fine.
Whaley just going to easily break the press and going to pull it back out smartly. Westfield needs to try to milk some of this clock. Whaley has it left wing. She gets it inside to Ratliff. Her shot is off the mark. Rebound to Whitley Young, and Young gets it out to Mosley. Mosley drives right wing, gets it inside to Ratliff. Her shot is up and good. Great pass right there by Mosley.
Yeah, that time was a good job of sharing the basketball. She had a better look at the basket. She found her and put it in for 2.
Warrington drives inside. Her shot is up and no good. Rebound down to Whaley. Westfield has extended the lead to 17, 37-20 your score with 1:15 to go here in the third. And the Lady Hornets look to be on the way to a victory if they can continue as that ball is thrown away.
Yeah, they got to start slowing things down and get that clock, and that's what Coach Champion is. Winter Williams going to come in for the first time tonight, so the first time we've seen a sub other than Jerica Ratliff here tonight, and Gracie Duggan also to the scorer's table. She'll come in at the next break.
Mosley gets away with a travel there, I believe, too, so
that helps.
Yep. King drives inside, gets it out to Calhoun, who gets it back out to Tyson, over to Sales, back over to King right wing. King drives right baseline, passes all the way back across, and she steps out of bounds, does Tyson there on the line. So Westfield will have the basketball back as
it'll be Mary
Margaret Gilbert comes in for.
So Coach Champion trying to get some of his subs in with a 17-point lead here and just under a minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, under a minute. I guess he's thinking, get a breather, and like you said, kind of get him that extended break before the fourth quarter. Caitlin Mosley drives, uses that off arm nicely. Over to Whaley. Whaley trying to create some space. She throws it inside. Bad pass, and Winter Williams does a great job of tracking it down. Westfield throws it inside to Gilbert. Her shot is off the mark, and a foul call. And Gilbert will go to the line here. And Westfield's done a good job of finding that backside player as Deerfield has kind of crashed down on defense and left that backside wide open.
Yeah, Mary Margaret Gilbert, she has some height to her, and that time they found her. She got her long arms up, and will go to the free throw line, hopefully be rewarded here, and is on the first of 2. Obviously a crowd favorite. Everybody cheering very loud for her.
Good job right there by Mary Margaret. Her second on the way, and it is good.
All right, so 2 points.
39-20 your score with just under 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. King drives, gets it out to Sales. Sales drives right wing, gets it back out to King. King drives. Shot is blocked by Jerica Ratliff, and Mosley comes away with it. 10 seconds to go. Ooh, just a little too hard for Gilbert. Goes out of bounds with 7 seconds to go here.
And the defense continues to be stifling for Westfield as they've doubled up this lead here, up by 19. Well, I guess 3 more points, they would have doubled it up from the halftime score.
Ooh, good read right there by Winter Williams. It forces the throw to be high, and it was. Pass inside to Warrington. Her shot is up, no good. And Williams and Calhoun collide, and Calhoun gets the better of that collision. But Westfield will take the 19-point lead as we head into the fourth. You're listening to Lady Hornets basketball on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Hey, Pete, check this out. Come here, little doggy. Sit.
Oh,
Sit.
you train your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of his stuff. Shake.
Oh, maybe he's grumpy, you know? I mean, it is lunchtime, so.
Oh, right, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, yeah.
Must be it. Little doggy.
It's okay. Does it taste good, though?
A little dog with a big bite. Little doggies, starting at $1.29. And save room for a molten cake sundae. This is how you Sonic.
Now, back to the basketball game action inside the Hornets' Nest on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Welcome back inside the nest. Westfield is on top, 39-20, with the fourth quarter remaining here, just about to start, and the Lady Hornets did a good job of weathering the scoring right there by Deerfield, and then was able to extend their lead, Kenny. They scored 19 points in that third quarter, the most they've scored. They almost scored as much as they did in the first half there in the third quarter.
Yeah, they look very good in that third quarter. Defense has stayed as it had in the first half, and the shooting looked a lot better, and finally some shots started to fall.
Right wing inside to Tuberville. Her shot is off the mark and going to go over to Deerfield. T.C. Williams plays good defense inside there, and Tuberville missed the initial shot.
Yeah, she came up empty there, but, you know, good effort. She was open.
Great pass by Whaley. And King gets it out to Tyson. Her three is on the way and good. Cuts the lead to 16, 23-39 your score.
Beautiful shot that time by Joyner Tyson. I mean, that thing was nothing but net. Good rotation. Whoa.
Gracie Duggan has the ball taken away, and they're going to say it was tied up. Stay with Westfield.
Man, what hands. Quick hands by Alondra Calhoun. She got and stole that pass and then forced.
Oh, they're going to say it goes over to Deerfield.
Okay, so the possession arrow was wrong. Deerfield gets the turnover.
A little bit of a
paper airplane made its way onto the court, I believe.
A little bit of paper there. Don't want a player to trip over it or an official. So Westfield has the ball. Excuse me, Deerfield has the ball. They get it back out to King there. She's going to set things up here for the Lady Knights. Gets it back out to Joyner. Throws it all the way across court to Tyson. Her shot is on the mark.
So 2 straight three-pointers by Joyner Tyson, and 6 points cuts this down to 13 for Westfield.
7:02 to go here. Mosley drives inside, pass over to Tuberville, and it's tied up again.
But that one will stay with Westfield this time.
And you got to bounce that one right there, because if you bounce past it, it gets more in rhythm. It's not as hard, and the ball's probably on the left side of her body instead of right there on the right side to be grabbed. And Coach Champion's going to take a timeout. We'll take a break with him. Westfield is on top by 13. You're listening to Lady Hornet basketball on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Billy, met Jim, arrive.
Remember those old Western movies? You could always tell the good guys by their white hats. Well, today the styles have changed, but the hat's still white. At David Reagan Ford and Perry, we focus on being good citizens and good neighbors with straightforward deals, a firm handshake, and no hassle negotiating. Visit us on the web or stop by David Reagan Ford just off I-75, exit 136 in Perry. David Reagan Ford.
You know us. We're the guys in the white hats.
Now, back to the basketball game action inside the Hornets' Nest on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
And welcome back inside the nest. Westfield leads 39-26. And they have had the lead cut by 6 here in the start of this fourth quarter. Westfield was leading 39-20 coming into this fourth quarter. And Kenny, 2 threes by Deerfield, and it's cut into it. And the score is now only the deficit's only now 13.
Yeah, Joyner Tyson has hit 2 big threes and kind of got this Deerfield side all sparked up. Yeah, Westfield's going to have to kind of turn the momentum back their way.
As Mosley is going to inbounds it for the Lady Hornets. She's going to throw it out to Whitley Young, and Young going to get over to Mosley. Mosley makes a great catch there right up against the out-of-bounds line, and she's going to pull it back out, set things up here for the Lady Hornets. Whaley has it. Right wing, looking to go inside with it. Can find nowhere to go with the ball. Going to dribble, drives inside, shot is up. No good. Rebound down to Calhoun. Calhoun gets ahead to Tyson. Tyson, right wing. Throws it all the way across court to King. King going to set things back up here for Deerfield. 6:21 left to go here in the game. Westfield on top, 39-26, and the ball is tipped back in by T.C. Williams. Ball thrown ahead by Whaley inside to Mosley. Her shot is up and good, and your score now 41-26.
Great job on the defensive side and good hustling to get down the court by Caitlin Mosley. She's open down the other end.
King throws it over to Joyner. Joyner inside to T.C. Williams. Her shot is up and good. She cuts the lead back to 13.
Westfield needs to get that backdoor defender to start helping out again like they did in the first half.
Mosley going to drive ahead, trying to break this press. Man-to-man press. She has the ball at the top of the key. Over to Whitley Young. Young just standing there. Gets it back to Whaley at the top of the key. Whaley to Tuberville. Tuberville. And drive inside to Whitley Young. Her shot is up. No good. Rebound down to T.C. Williams. And Williams gets it ahead to number 11 there, Tyson. Tyson throws it over to King. King drives inside. Her shot is up. And no good. Rebound down to Gracie Duggan. And Westfield going to slow it down here, try to get some of that clock run down for the Lady Hornets. 41-28 your score with 4:57 to go here. Ball's going to stay with Westfield after the tip out on, looks like that was Tyson for Deerfield.
Brett, this might be the most attended game so far here this season I've seen.
Absolutely. A great attendance for the Lady Hornets as the shot is up by Whaley, no good, and they're going to call a foul inside.
Off the ball.
It's going to be on Calhoun on the rebound, and it's going to stay with Westfield. They say she used her arm to create some space against Tuberville inside.
Yeah, I mean, that was away from the ball because they blew the whistle as Chelsea was shooting the basketball, but it was away from the ball, so it's not a shooting foul.
Ball inbounds to Whaley. Ball tipped away by Williams. Williams going to drive inside. Her shot is up and good, and the lead is only 11.
Yep, just a lazy pass that time, and there they go again.
Another steal by Kelsey King, and she is going to try to cut the lead to single digits. Drives inside. Her shot is up, and no good. Rebound off of T.C. Williams' hands. Going to go over to Westfield. 4:25 to go here in the game.
Westfield just got to calm down. I mean, right now they're making some very lazy long passes, and that's exactly what Coach Champion's going to do. He's going to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. Listen to Lady Hornet basketball on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Well, the news is out. Brandon Outfitters has taken Central Georgia by storm as one of the Mid-State's premier outfitters. Located just off I-75 in Perry, Georgia, Brandon has all of the latest gear for any hunting season or just for a nice night out on the town. They still have all of your favorite brands such as Southern Tide, Mountain Khakis, Southern Marsh, Patagonia, Costa, Orvis, and as always, a huge selection of firearms. Brandon also now features new brands such as Sims, Ray-Ban, Kavu, Chaco, Yeti, and much more. Come check them out at 106 Fairview Drive in Perry. They're sure to make your visit one to remember. Now, back to the basketball game action inside the Hornets' Nest on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Welcome back inside the nest. Westfield has the basketball, but only with an 11-point lead here with 4:25 left to go in the game. Whaley has it. She just needs to use her dribble. She does. Just bring it up. And she gets across half court. This possession needs to take it under 4 minutes here as Mosley gets it out to Tuberville. Tuberville, left wing, going to try to bring it back out and set things back up. Back to Mosley. Mosley Has it at the top of the key. Over to Tuberville, right wing. Tuberville drives inside. Gets it over to Duggan, and the ball is tipped away, and Westfield turns it back over. Pass inside to T.C. Williams. T.C. Williams loses the basketball, and they're going to call a timeout. I don't know how you call a timeout with no possession. The ball's loose.
And that's what they're discussing here is one ref is saying he heard a timeout, which he did.
But the ball was loose at that point.
Right, but was there possession of the basketball?
He knew they were always going to call a timeout. We're going to stay here, though, as Westfield leads 41-30. And Westfield really has no one to blame but themselves. If you hold the basketball and don't throw it around, stop trying to score, you win the game.
Yeah, right now, I mean, they just look sloppy over the last, I mean, really this whole quarter, as Joyner Tyson kind of changed the momentum of this game with her three-pointers, cutting it down to 13, and since then, they've cut it all the way down to 11, back up to the lead it was at half. So everything that was positive for Westfield in the third quarter has just been undone here in the first 4 minutes, 14 seconds of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely, and Westfield has got to try to find some offensive rhythm here, but not do so in such a quick manner. They seem to be kind of out of sorts and rushing with the basketball.
Well, not only that, but they're making ill-advised passes. I mean, they're doing cross-court passes, a lot of long passes. They don't come out and help each other too much, and it seems like at times the girls get afraid to dribble. And if they would just dribble the basketball, they would take themselves out of some of those situations in which they feel like they're trapped. And Westfield is kind of, like you said, Brett, put themselves in this situation that they have played so poorly over this past few minutes, and now they need to hold on for another 3:46.
Yeah, and even though it's worst case scenario, Westfield's still up 11.
Right.
So
yeah.
Just weather the storm and try to make a couple baskets and extend the lead back out. Ball being inbounds underneath the goal, and Whaley does a great job, takes it right away after the ball's tried to throw in by number 12, Patsy Carty.
Yep, not what the coach drew there in the timeout, I'm sure.
As Mosley gets it over to Tuberville, left wing. 3:32 left to go here in the game. Westfield on top, 41-30. Tuberville almost has the ball stolen away. She spins away, throws the ball inside to Whaley. Whaley smartly decides to try to, thought she was going to try to throw it back out, but she kind of gets the deer in headlights look and has the ball stolen away, and then she tips it away in transition as Carty tries to come up and make something happen, and Whaley tracks her down.
It's been a battle between those two on 3 straight possessions. You know, Whaley stole it away from Carty, Carty stole it away from Whaley, and then back down the other end, Whaley trails her and knocks it out of bounds. Can she do it a fourth time here?
Ball thrown into Calhoun and way overhead. Gets it ahead to Mosley, does Whitley Young. Mosley goes inside. Her shot is up and good. Gets the lead back.
She played very calm, knew she had to just hit the square and put it in.
43-30 your score. 2:58 left to go here. Teasley Williams going to take a shot from 3, and it's short. Rebound down to Mosley, who gets it over to Young. Back to Mosley. Mosley bringing it up. Mosley drives inside. Throws it over to Tuberville. I tell you what, she needs to pitch softball or something. She throws the ball so hard. Jump ball is going to go over to Deerfield.
And again, just add one more to the world record of jump balls here. As this has been a very physical game for both teams, as we're starting to see some substitutions come in now for the Deerfield Lady Knights. Mary Warrington coming in, as well as Hannah Mills, and they will replace Alondra Calhoun and Patsy Carty.
And Sale's going to bring it up. Gets it out to King. King out to Williams, who gets it back out to number 25, Mills. Mills over to number 11, Joyner Tyson. Shot is off the mark. Hits off the top of the backboard. That should be a dead ball.
Yeah.
And it's going to go over to Westfield nonetheless, but
yeah, if it hits on it's considered out of bounds. If it hits on the back side of the top of the goal, that's what I've always been taught anyways.
Ball inbounds by Whaley. Whaley gets it right back. Good job of breaking the press. She drives all the way in over to Tuberville, and she is fouled on the way up. That's a shot right there Whaley should take inside the lane.
Yeah, she had the speed going down the lane and could have gotten up with an easy basket, but nonetheless, 2 free throws will come here for Unique Tuberville.
And that's going to be 5 for T.C. Williams. And coming back in the game is going to be Calhoun for Williams.
T.C. Williams played a great ball game for the Deerfield Lady Knights, so hats off to her for a good game, and she hears it from her home crowd here, or from her crowd, I should say. It's not the home crowd.
As Tuberville is at the line, trying to extend the lead to 15. 43-30 is your score. And the first one is good. And Kenny, it seemed a lot closer than it actually was, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Westfield's built this lead back out to 14 in just over 2 minutes, and you're right, it got tight there, but it never got into single digits.
And the second one is good, and now it's a 15-point lead again for Westfield, 45-30. Mills drives in, gets it out to King. King inside to Williams. Her shot is up, no good. Rebound down to Tuberville. Tuberville clearing out space down low. Under 2 minutes to go with 15-point lead here for Deerfield, and they're going to call it 33.
Wow.
They're going to call Caitlin Mosley for an offensive foul there.
Yeah, I believe she got an illegal screen called on her, so that's kind of an odd call. And Caitlin's still looking around like, oh, what just happened? But we're under 2 minutes now. Westfield back out to the 15-point lead. I think that run-out layup by Caitlin kind of switched momentum, kind of stemmed the tide, and ever since Westfield's kind of been back in the lead.
Wow, as there's a 3-ball connected on by King, and 12-point lead here. Mosley has the ball. She drives up. Gets it across half court finally. She gets past King. She drives inside. Goes all the way in. Nice layup, and Westfield extends the lead back out to 14.
I mean, that was just too easy. Got past one defender, and the lane just wide open for Caitlin to lay it in.
47-33 your score with 1:22 left to go, and Kelsey King drives inside and gets those points right back, but I think it's just going to be too late for Deerfield.
Yeah, I mean, Westfield will trade baskets all day with a 12-point lead.
Inside to Whitley Young. Her shot is up and good, and Westfield just continues to break the press. 49-35 your score.
Yeah, it's no-win situation right now for Deerfield. You press, trying to create those defensive pressure, but at the same time, you leave wide-open shots the other way.
3 is up, no good. Rebound down to Tuberville. Tuberville gets it to Duggan. Duggan going to get it ahead to Whaley. Whaley looking to go in transition, but all she's got to do is hold the basketball. 49-35 your score with under a minute to go here.
Westfield win streak going to go to 3.
Inside to Mosley. Her shot is up and good, and Westfield takes a 16-point lead.
It's going to be a good win for the Lady Hornets here against a very quality team in this Deerfield Lady Knights.
King throws it inside to Mills. Mills comes away with it, gets it back over to Calhoun. Calhoun right block. Her shot is up, no good. Rebound down to Tuberville. Tuberville throws it ahead to Mosley. Mosley going to go inside. Her shot is up, no good, but she's going to be fouled with 9 seconds to go in the game.
And Mosley here in this fourth quarter, 4 of 4 from the field. As Westfield will win this one and go to, 4-2 in the region?
No, this is not a region game.
Oh, I'm sorry. Creature of old habits here. It used to be region mates for many years, but not anymore. But still, good win. Gets an out-of-region opponent.
Big confidence builder for Westfield. 52-35 your score as Caitlin connects. Her second shot with 9.5 here to go. And her second's good.
Perfect from the line and the field here in this fourth quarter.
Mills out to Tyson. Her shot is off the mark, and that will be all she wrote. Westfield wins by 18, 53-35 over the Deerfield Windsor Lady Knights. We'll take a quick break and be back with the Bill and Laura Amos postgame show. We're listening to Lady Hornets basketball on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
Tonight, it was Deerfield, and the beats keep on coming as tomorrow night, Southland enters the nest. Coming off a huge rivalry game tonight, Westfield will have to gear up yet again for another huge rivalry game as the Raiders from Americus come to town. The Lady Hornets tip at 4:30, directly followed by the boys game at 6 o'clock, only on the Middle Georgia Sports Network. The Middle Georgia Sports Network would like to thank all of its basketball sponsors for making this season's broadcast possible. Those valuable sponsors include Brandon Outfitters, Planners First, Com South, Sonic America's Drive-In, David Reagan Ford, and proud parents and supporters of Westfield Athletics, Bill and Laura Amos.
Waking up to ash and
With all of your game stats, impact players, and analysis of the game, welcome into the MidGASports.net postgame show, presented by Bill and Laura Amos, proud parents and supporters of Westfield Athletics.
And welcome into the Bill and Laura Amos postgame show as the Lady Hornets are a winner here tonight, 53-35 over the Deerfield Windsor Lady Knights out of Albany. And that was a huge victory for the Lady Hornets. They're on a 3-game win streak after losing inside the Hornets' Nest for the first time all season to the Lady Gators out of Gatewood. Westfield now 3-2 in the region as they were coming into the night, and the Lady Hornets on a 3-game win streak, as I said. And can't feel any better if you're Coach Chip Champion defeating the Deerfield Windsor Lady Knights as huge rivals. And Westfield always enjoys beating the Knights, a very respected team coming out of Albany, and the Lady Hornets played very well defensively. Can't really say they played great offensively, but they scored enough points to win the game, 53-35. And Kenny, not sure if you got them tabulated yet, the ComSouth stats, but I tell you what a game by Caitlin Mosley in the second half.
Yeah, and looking at these final stats brought to you by ComSouth for Westfield, Chelsea Whaley actually game high points with 9 of 14 for 21 points in the game. I'm sorry, excuse me. She had 14. I apologize. So she had 14 points. And then for Whitley Young, 2 of 4 for 4 points. 2 of 9 was Gracie Duggan for 4. 5 of 13 for 15 was Unique Tuberville. Caitlin Mosley, 9 of 16 for 20 points here tonight, game high. 1 of 2 was Jerica Ratliff for 2. And 2 points on the night as well from the free throw line for Mary Margaret Gilbert. That's our final here tonight. And our Sonic Offensive Player of the Game, or Sonic Player of the Game, will go to Caitlin Mosley here this evening with a 20-point night, leading the Lady Hornets to victory over the Deerfield Lady Knights.
So great job by Caitlin and an all-around great effort by Westfield's Lady Hornets swarming defense, and they get the victory here tonight over the Deerfield Windsor Lady Knights. And I got ahead of myself there. 53-35 your final score. So that wraps up the Bill and Laura Amos postgame show. We'll take a quick break and tune back in as it is 8:02. We will probably be going back on air about 8:10. You've been listening to the Lady Hornets basketball here on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.
The Middle Georgia Sports Network would like to thank all of its basketball sponsors for making this season's broadcast possible. Those valuable sponsors include Brandon Outfitters, Planners First, ComSouth, Sonic America's Drive-In, David Reagan Ford, and proud parents and supporters of Westfield Athletics, Bill and Laura Amos.
Waking up to ash and dust, I watch my
Tonight it was Deerfield, and the beats keep on coming as tomorrow night Southland enters the Nest. Coming off a huge rivalry game tonight, Westfield will have to gear up yet again for another huge rivalry game as the Raiders from Americus come to town. The Lady Hornets tip at 4:30, directly followed by the boys game at 6 o'clock, only on the Middle Georgia Sports Network.